I'm Leslie LaChance. I'm a poet. I am a teaching artist, a narrative for story facilitator, and a member of the Artist Network. And Amanda.
I'm Amanda. I'm also a teaching artist based in Nashville, Tennessee. I call myself a narrative artist. I bring my journalism background quite a bit into my art, which is primarily choreography and writing. But it's been a little bit of filmmaking lately too. I'm part of the Artist Network, and I'm a lead trainer for Narrative 4, and I'm just really happy to be here tonight with you all.
And we want to acknowledge that there are likely climate activists and artists in the room with us, and we're excited that everyone is here for this journey.
And Leslie's going to go over our community guidelines.
Yeah, so before we begin, I would like to state that our community guidelines are that we hold space for each other. And we'll be doing some breakout groups, so that will be also super important there. And we'll have the opportunity to listen deeply and speak your truth, and also to respect differences and to know and to celebrate them, and to know that people will be bringing different perspectives and experiences and knowledge bases to our work today.
So are we good with, before we move on to this next one, can we get like a thumbs up?
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Okay, nod or something that we all agree to the community guidelines things. Beautiful, thank you. We're going to jump right into an individual reflection. And this is going to be on something called a Padlet. And it's super simple. And we chose this one because I find it is one of the most simple boards to use. So we're going to drop in a moment this link in the chat. And this Christian is also at the top of the Padlet. But it's how are you personally impacted by any aspect of the climate crisis? It can be on your community, could be on you as an individual, can be an emotional impact, physical, spiritual. And then part 2, if you do get to that part, it's really going to take about 5 minutes for this, is what do you feel you need to support you as you engage in climate crisis, and ideally the move to action? So, if you've never used Padlet before, it's super simple. There's a little arrow on this screen pointing to a little circle, green circle with a cross in it. And that's what you do to add stuff. So just click on that. Padlet will give you an anonymous name like Curious Squirrel or something like that. So you can remain anonymous if you want, or you can change your name, or you can just put your initials or your name with your contributions. That's all up to you. But as you begin to populate this Padlet, I'm going to play some song, another narrative for artist for you, and give you a few moments for individual reflection. It'll take about 5 minutes. We'll take about the length of this song to populate that Padlet.
Some common themes.
Definitely. And seeing burden, weight,
Mm-hmm.
grief, anxiety.
And what people need is community.
Mm, yeah. Action.
Yeah.
Mm,
To feel empowered.
this Padlet will stay active for the whole time. And I see that there are people still working on your responses. That's beautiful. Can continue to do that. And while you do that, Leslie's going to introduce her poem.
So I'm going to read a poem that ended up traveling really far into a film that Amanda and I collaborated on. And I wrote the poem some time ago. It was inspired by an interview with a marine biologist that I happened to hear on the radio. He was an expert on marine mammal communications and especially whales. And he talked about how whales could sing to each other across hundreds, even thousands of miles across the ocean and be heard and responded to. And I loved the thought of that. And so that's what this poem came out of. And so I'll share it with you. What they are saying. The marine biologist said, when a whale sings on one side of the Atlantic, whales on the other side can hear her. From Ghana to Greenland to the Haligonian coast, whale song, call and response. Cousins croon one to another across the thrum of shipping lanes and gashed lips of black ocean trenches. Whale song eases under neon reefs, bends round icebergs, snugs into the swells and pitches, carries through that great gray expanse from whale to whale to whale. This sound assurance. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Leslie. So, yeah, Leslie and I co-founded something called Artist Nashville, and it was a group of artists that came together for a year and created around the theme of well-being. And after our June meetup, where we had been collectively creating things like mandalas and designs with natural art objects, we just said, we're both very passionate about the environment. Let's do something together. And she had this wealth of beautiful poems, and I read through them and chose this one. Really just hit me, and I said, let's make a film with these excerpts. And then that film can be a call to action, an invitation to people to create their own climate song, their own climate message. And then this short film that we're about to share is what came from that.
So just real quickly, if you had one word or a short phrase that you'd want to put in the chat, what does this bring up for you? Seeing the film, the poem, anything that kind of creates a response.
And I also think with a small group, we can probably come off mic too.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah. Connection, community, oh, mother, I like that. A mystery possibility. Vast love. Ooh. Oh, the tear is dripping water like tears. Fantastic.
Yeah, I have to shout out to Masood. He's a friend of ours, and he's local, and that's his music. So some of the music, some of the dripping water was his music, and some of it was part of the film.
And I think it's okay to reveal that we made this movie in a small river in front of another friend's house
Yeah.
where we had done some creative work previously, some cyanotype, nature cyanotype, and that was really fun. And so, and then we talked, as we were making the film, we talked a little bit about how the river was this small river, but it was part of a much larger watershed that eventually flowed into the to the Gulf of Mexico. And we were thinking about that going out into the ocean more broadly, that sense. So, wow, birth, flow, peace, yeah. Loving energy, soft and comforting, connection, compassion. Really, that's beautiful. Right. And so, so we're going to do a couple of breakout room activities, and this is a kind of a warm-up activity, but it's an opportunity for you to answer this question: what emotions and thoughts are most present for you in thinking about climate action? And so take a couple of minutes to introduce yourselves, and then each person can take a couple of minutes to share. The idea here is that this gives you a response to speak your truth, but also to do some deep listening. And this is really more about just listening without judgment. Doesn't have to be a big discussion, just to hold space for each other and share those emotions.
And to clarify it, I know so many of you all here are familiar with story exchanges. We're not going to exchange the stories. We're just doing the listening practice. Welcome back, everybody. We hope that time was helpful for you. And we have just about 5 minutes here. If anybody would like to share something that came up in your group, I do kind of encourage the idea of I statements here, sharing your own experience, because that was a possibly very private conversation among 3 people, and this part of it is being recorded. So feel free to share your own thoughts, things that you shared. If you do want to share something about your whole group, make sure you get consent from the people that are in the group to share anything like that. And we're a small group, so I'm going to invite you to just come off the mic and share anything that came up that you would like to offer to the group.
I appreciated very much being able to talk with like-minded people, and it gave me a little boost of hope and a little less feelings of loneliness. And I said that I'm going to now, on my political marches, instead of just saying to hands off of our bodies and LGBTQ rights and education, I'm going to add climate and the world onto my son. So that's a little step that I can do to start.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, because this is all part of, to me, action is the next step from all of this. So that's beautiful to hear. Anyone else want to share? Valerie?
I really appreciated our time together too, and we had. I was connecting around the fact that we are living in cities and what that means and how much we miss being in nature. And I also was connecting to my feelings about that we need to be aware of where our stuff comes from, because we have a lot of stuff and we exploit countries that maybe don't benefit from their resources so that we can have more stuff. And it's hard to come to terms with that in many ways, from all the things that we seem to need and use. And I also just feel like really inspired in my work to support people and, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, falling back in love with the earth, because I think that people need to be invited into a space where they can do that. And so I'm committed to that.
Thank you. That is beautiful. I've actually not heard him that quote before, falling back in love with the earth. That could be a human climate song message, fall back with the earth. Beautiful, beautiful. We want to give you time to do the creative part. So thank you for sharing that. You're going to get more time with your group that you were just in. We're going to advance to the next slide. So this is now an invitation to create. And the idea is creating a simple message, like Leslie's was, you are not alone, you are not alone, you are not alone. In my mind, that was the very condensed climate message there. And if you were to create one, what would it be? Now, you can do this in words, you can upload images. If you're ambitious, you can do a dance and video it, and Padlet supports, video, it supports audio, but it can also just be simple, like a haiku or something like that. We are going to put you back in those breakout rooms, and we're going to leave it up to you whether you want to collaborate in those trios or the duo, or if you want to work kind of independently but check in with each other as you're creating. That's really up to you. You're going to have about 20 minutes. Well, we're going to come back around 8. Just and we're gonna put the Padlet back in the link to the Padlet back in the chat, and so you can upload information there. And that we really want to focus on messages of hope or calls to action, because there's enough kind of despondency and heaviness and stuff out there.
Yes.
It's kind of a focus.
We want to really lift each other up, I think, is the effort. What can we do and say and make as a community that will leave us feeling less sad?
Welcome back, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for, I write a lot of songs, and this one came to mind. I'm actually translating from this new musical score. It'll get released soon once my guitarist finishes, but I'll read you the lyrics because it made me think of climate. I'm reading sort of what's written down here because I have to change the tense. When I finished it, it was a little different than this version, but I see the image you have drawn, the one with the fire on the lawn. Behold, the writing of the wrong will arise. Arise, O sleeper, awaken. How long has it taken? Your heart is a-breaking and the wind's blowing through. Fear not the Alleluia. Fear not the Alleluia. Fear not the Alleluia. Fear not the Alleluia. I hear the ringing of the bell. I hear the breaking of the spell. Draw near where God and demon dwell, and arise, O sleeper, awaken. How long has it taken? Your heart is a breaking and the wind's blowing through. Fear not the Alleluia. Fear not the Alleluia. Fear not the Alleluia. Fear not the Alleluia. Behold the wisdom of the age. Behold the laughter and the rage. Behold the lion in the cage will arise, O sleeper, awaken. How long is it taken? Your heart is a breaking and the wind's blowing through. And the God we worship is the God we let inside. Fear not the Alleluia. Fear not the Alleluia. Fear not the Alleluia. Fear not the Alleluia. Alleluia. Amen, amen, and amen. Well, thank you.
Cheers.
So
I love that we had music represented. Thank you. Oh, wonderful. And I see that some more people have posted theirs. Do you all want to share? Do you want to speak to that at all?
Sure, yeah. So, I'm in a group with Carla and Valerie, and we decided to make to do this thing together. We spent like 10 minutes time doing our individual thing, and then we came together. And, we have a poem. Sorry, I'm not so good at like explaining. So I drew a tree, and the tree has a little dent on it, and just to maybe like fit like maybe like a background for the poem. That's what I was thinking. Carla, do you want to share about the poem?
And read the poem if you like.
Yeah.
Love to hear you read it.
Yes, sure. So Valerie and I did the reading part without knowing we were gonna write. And I was trying to do an haiku, but I got stuck in the middle line. I didn't know what to fit in. So the two lines that I wrote were nature finds its way, and then I wrote to remind its strength. And what we did was, with what Valerie wrote, put like a line of mine, a line of Valerie, a line of mine, and a line of Valerie. And that's what we came up. So I'll read it out. Nature finds its way. The earth is your oldest ancestor. Be held in love. To remind its strength. Touch, smell, taste. See like a baby and marvel.
I love a collaborative poem and with illustration.
That makes my heart sing to hear the process of that. It's just, and I would have never thought that that was not written by one person or people working at the same time together. Beautiful. Thank you.
I tried attaching the document and didn't get it. And I apologize to my group if I spelled anything wrong or missed a word or two. We worked together, but I am not a great typist, so
It's totally fine. We're not, one of our things we say is we're all human and we're not perfect. So this is beautiful. I'm going to post it into the Padlet. I can't copy and paste, but would you like to read that for us?
Oh, sure. Dear Mother Earth, I love you. I am constantly in awe of your beauty and bounty, and I bow to your unfathomably ancient existence, Mother Earth. Your living waters ebb and flow in an interconnected network, making the world whole. Thank you for the wisdom and kindness of the elements that teach us what is gratitude. You make me feel refreshed and alive, feeling hugged and loved by you. Forgive me for taking you and all your gifts for granted. I pledge to take better care of you. May the fruits of our lives be of love and benefit to you, dear Mother Earth. We pledge to reciprocate love for you by publicly speaking your truth, tending to you with love and care.
Beautiful. And that was Shoshana and Amir as well with you?
Yes.
I'm going to post that with your names in it.
Okay. And we switched from an I to the N to a we
Mm,
on purpose.
Yeah.
lovely. Oh gosh. Thank you all so much for sharing this. And it's an ongoing thing, and you might already, as some of you have shared with us, already doing climate work, and this can be just another spark, hopefully in the fire that helps keep us going. Something simple and quick, and something we can do collaboratively or individually. We're going to move to the last slide so we can show you about sharing. So we have an Instagram, and it's brand new, Human Climate Song. Our blue sky, we do have a blue sky, but honestly, it's like an
I do. Yeah. It's got a few.
infant. We haven't invested any time in that one, but we did go ahead and make that account. But what we're hoping you will do is post your message, because it's not just a social media thing. It's that we need to continue to sing this song to everybody. And as we share our messages and encourage those messages to be carried on from person to person to person, perhaps these messages will get across the globe, because we really do need to inspire everyone to get on board. That's kind of my message, is we need every voice. We need every action for Mother Earth. So we are asking you, if you do Instagram, to post your message and not only tag Human Climate Song, but actually make us a collaborator. And then we'll share it also to our feed. We encourage you to tag other friends that might want to participate. And I love it when people, when they share their climate song, also post one simple action that you're taking for the environment, because it's about inspiring, but it's also about action. So I'm going to leave us with this quote by Paul Hawken. He wrote Regeneration, Ending the Climate Crisis in One Generation. And it is, when we look at our networks, this is a longer one than that's on the slide. Each of us are multitudes. We have different skills and potential, including sharing, electing, demonstrating, teaching, conserving, and diverse means of helping leaders, cities, companies, neighbors, co-workers, and governments become aware and able to act. The number one cause of human change is when people around us change. So we hope you will be part of the Human Climate Song by sharing your songs with the world, with people you encounter in real life, not just on social media. Before we do the very tiny closure, do you want to say anything else, Leslie or Felice or something?
Also, I mean, we would love, of course, for you to participate in our Instagram feed, but you may also have your own networks to begin sharing climate messages with, and we would love to know about them as well, so we could connect with them. So you can reach out to us. You can message us at the Human Climate Song. Just let us know.
Yeah, that's another thing, is to uplift other people's projects and actions. So we'll be sharing those. So to end, we're gonna make our own little, not exactly whale song. I'm gonna invite us to do, and I'll share it. What we're gonna do. You could either do on the exhale, you could either hum like, which is gonna vibrate your vagus nerve, which is a calming exercise, or you can tone. And I do invite you to come off mute, if you will, for this. We're going to end with just one deep inhale and either a hum or a tone together as we create our song together. You ready? And
Thank you all so much.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.